Hi, my name is Ken McGlasson, and today I'm going to show you IWB by Samsung. What we have set up today, to start the video, is a dual screen setup. So both of them are connected to a computer. They're connected in exactly the same way that you used to with all presentation devices. So the VGA or the HDMI cable, but the touch overlay over the top of the LFD has a USB cable. So in the same way that you plug your mouse or keyboard into your desktop, plug that in, it loads the drivers automatically, so it's plug and play, and in the same way when you plug a pen drive in and it comes up device driver loading software, exactly the same process. Also, it doesn't need calibrating, so just plug your laptop in and away you go. You now have a very nice touch screen computer. What we have running here is a nice little bit of video, and all we're doing is just interacting with the front of it. So built into Windows is some basic functionality. So again, this pops up when you plug in the touchscreen. So we can bring up a blank screen here, and we can start writing. Very, very simple functionality. We're writing in the digital world, so we can save those annotations and we can give those notes, those diagrams, whatever we discussed in that particular meeting, we can give that out and send it via email. Very, very simple, but also what we can do with a simple Windows 7 function is screen capture. So if I move the video along here to somewhere like this, let's click the pause button. And this is the snipping tool, again built into Windows. So we're going to capture that, and again this then allows us to annotate over the top of the video, and we can then save that. So essentially we can annotate over the top of anything on our desktop, whether it be a PowerPoint, a video, PDF, Word document, whatever it is. And again, it will ask me to save that content so we can either email it, print it off, or copy it to our phone. Another nice Windows function is when you plug into PowerPoint, it also recognizes that there is a touchscreen connected and gives you basic annotation built into PowerPoint. Now they're hidden at the bottom here, so I can skip ahead. I can select a pen, so ballpoint, felt tip, or highlighter, and I can highlight the various things over the top here. What I can also do is create a blank screen, so a white screen or a blank screen here, and again I can select a pen, and then if we wanted to draw a diagram of this particular setup, I could. If I wanted to make some notes or some points or whatever it is, and then when I exit out of PowerPoint, it then asks me whether I want to keep or discard those annotations. So again, all our resources are kind of in sort of PowerPoint. That's historically where we come from. But this simple functionality, plug and play, we can either keep or discard those annotations. If we go back to here, I click discard, well, never mind, but that does work. What Samsung have then done is then taken that kind of functionality and the way that we use our smartphones into a more intuitive kind of meeting room, classroom situation. So they've created Magic IWB, which is basically a nice big flip chart, but it allows us to bring in all different types of content. So if I want to bring in some images, very simply, I can bring in these images. Very intuitive pinch gestures that we're all used to. You can even flip it to the other side, and we can then annotate over the top of those using a quick gesture. Double tap here, and I can annotate over the top of all of these videos. Another quick gesture is to do a circle, and then it will then capture that whole content. It captures to a specific folder as an image, and again we can then print that out or email that to people. Let's get rid of all of this content on here. So nice, again, very, very simple gesture. Swipe down to get rid of all of that, put the various content in there. But not only can we put images in, we can bring in some videos. So here's a nice video over here. We can bring in a PowerPoint, the one that we were using before, so I can put that over there. And then any other images or PDFs that we want to use. And in one go, I can now annotate over the top of the PowerPoint, over the top of the image, and even over the top of the video. If I pause it first. And again, quick capture, quick circle, and then it captures all that content into here, into the capture folder. We can also bring in stuff from your browser. So here we've got the Toyota website. We can also plug in a webcam. This is just a visualizer, which is just basically a fancy webcam. So I've got a document underneath there, and again, I can annotate over the top of this, and then I can capture using the simple circle. We're very intuitive, only using a couple of gestures to remember. You know, we're so used to all these sort of smartphones, but the ability to quickly and easily annotate over the top of any content that you've got means that you're not kind of restricted by that PowerPoint environment anymore. PowerPoint's been great, but historically that death by PowerPoint sentence keeps popping up, and it's because of that linear way that we use PowerPoint. So slide 1 to 10, if you want to move around, then it doesn't offer much flexibility. Here, you can bring your PowerPoint in, but you can also bring your images, also bring your video in, and it gives you a lot more flexibility. But potentially also, it means you don't have to actually create the PowerPoint. So if you've got all that content ready in a Word document or images or video, we can bring it all in here. We can go with the flow of the class or that particular meeting, and it means the level of engagement goes up. But all that time, I'm interacting with the content on here. So even just selecting a pen and highlighting something, everyone in the room's eyes are following that particular annotation. So the retention of information goes up, and then as we were doing before, we can then capture that information and disseminate it later.